Hey, welcome to Lee's Things and welcome to Wise Ideas. You're probably wondering, you're trying to read, what does this say? It's wise ideas. Yes, wise ideas. Wise ideas. Exactly, that's what it is. So the other day I posted on my status and I posted on my Facebook platform about social media. Thank God for social media. Thank you to those who invented social media. We love it. We love it. But I'm here to address something that I feel is a bit disturbing, because when the minute people hear social media, they think it's all about fun. It's not serious. It's not serious. It cannot be harmful. It cannot be that impactful. It can't be that important because it's just social media. And that's what I want to address today. And I'm going to do this by simply referring to some of the definitions that I shared with you when I posted about social media. Social refers to society and or its organization. Society and its organization. Yes, society and its organization. Now, here's the tricky part, or the funny part for me. Social and society are birthed from the same thing. But when we speak about society, it hits different. When we speak about social, it hits different. When people say, this is social, people think, playing football, social soccer. People think, just, merrymaking and having fun, which is not wrong at all. But when we use the word society, how many times have you heard people talking about wayward behavior, unacceptable behavior, and everybody says it's society? It's society. Suddenly that word becomes very important. Yet the same word in a different form, social, seems to insinuate that this is fun, this is lighthearted, it's not that important. Like I said, social refers to society and its organization. How many societies do you belong to? Which society do you belong to? Are you happy with the society where you come from? Are you happy where it's going, where it is right now? What's happening in your society that you're not happy about? That's social. In social media. Media refers to the means in which something is communicated or expressed. It's a conduit. It's a platform. So let's put the two words together. Social refers to society. Media refers to a means in which something is expressed or communicated. It's not so lighthearted anymore, is it? Or maybe it still is for you. But for me, it already has hit different. Social media is not as light-hearted, is not as unimportant as you think it is. Because a lot of people have said, it's just social media. It's on social media, so it's not important. Yes, a lot of us grew up in a time where social media wasn't there. And we had the good old television, good old radio, and newspaper. And that's what we tend to trust more. Which is good. But guess what? You can also trust social media. You can. There's lots of good information on social media. Whichever platform that you want to think about, there's lots of important, factual information on social media. But because social media is largely also ungoverned, largely, I say largely, not totally, because we know that some of these platforms are trying very hard to put rules and regulations. But largely, what I'm saying is somebody can be on their laptop, somebody might be on their phone, create any sort of content and post it. And there, it's on IG, it's on TikTok, it's on Facebook, it's on X. Good old radio and television, radio and newspaper. You had your editors, you have your producers, you have your managers that will safeguard the information and make sure that it gets to you, the consumer, in the correct, factual, and right times. Social media is not paying attention to that. And this is why I want to say, look out for social media. Treat it with the respect that it deserves. There's both good and bad on social media, but I really wanted to dwell on how impactful it is and that it could impact on you negatively. It probably is right now and you don't realize it. Social media is making use of three vital things that on our conventional media they were probably separated, but social media is making use of these at the same time. What am I talking about? The three elements: sound, video, and images or pictures if you want. All of these are on those platforms at the go, and that makes it powerful. The other thing that you need to look out for social media is the characteristic where it's personal. It's consumed in a solitary space. How many times do you take your cell phone to the bathroom or to the toilet or to the corner office or in that dark corner to answer a call, to Google something, to watch something on Facebook, to reply on X? How many times have you been in a corner and have done something that you know, or you've actually consumed something that you think, if my father, if my mother, if my brother, my sister, if my daughter or my son were to see that this is what I'm consuming, it wouldn't end well. That's the power of social media. Within those elements of sound, vision, and pictures or images, social media also makes use of color, language, dressing, to name just a few. So when you're watching a video, all these elements are involved and they will play tricks on your mind. Here's a conversation that a lot of people do not want to hear. And I often challenge people. I ask them, how well do you know yourself, or do you know yourself at all? The honest ones will start looking up in the sky and thinking, who am I? You are probably a product of so many cultures, so much ideas, societies, to a point where you don't really know yourself. And that's how powerful social media is. It's giving a lot of content on a daily basis. Every second or millisecond, something new is coming up. It's on social media. Back in the days, and even now, in most homes, I know some homes have a different setup. They have a television in the kitchen, they have another one in the bedroom, some even in the bathroom. But most homes still have the setup that we grew up with. One television set in the living room, one radio set in the television in the sitting room, and just some might have one landline still in their homes. This made sure that as children, we never consumed content that was not for us. It was controlled simply by being told to go to bed or get out of the room. That solitary characteristic I just mentioned about your laptop, which is a personal gadget, your smartphone, makes it even more powerful. And I'm talking about social media. When they go to bed, they probably go with their phones. And I'm talking about parents, I'm talking about siblings, I'm talking about children, I'm talking about your pastor, I'm talking about your teacher, I'm talking about your neighbor. And the things that they consume after hours or even early on in the day in solitary spaces sometimes might be frightening. What is my message to you? Social media has both good and bad. Social media is the new media. It has come to complement and at times compete with radio, television, and newspaper. It's got more avenues. It's got more content. It's more accessible. And in some spaces, it's more affordable. that makes social media very important and something that you should consider. What are you consuming? What is it doing to you as an individual? Because you as an individual and the next person and the next person make up the society, which is the social part. What is being communicated through social media to your children, to you, to your parents, to your guardians, to your friends, to your colleagues? Think about it. I would like us to make this the launch pad of talking about social media and taking social media seriously, because it can make or break you. Let's stop this issue of taking social media as just some other playground or social platform where we can play around. It has taken lives. It has built lives. It has destroyed businesses. It has built businesses. It has destroyed relationships, marriages. But it has also built marriages and relationships. Let us stop looking at social media as just that other thing. It's critical. It has got impact. It's powerful. It's here. And it's not going anywhere anytime soon. What are your thoughts about social media? I would hasten to say, start taking social media seriously. Otherwise, you might be headed in the wrong direction if you continue looking at social media as just play. Look at what your children are consuming. Try and understand what your spouse is consuming. We know that there's rights, there's also privacy, but try and understand how it's influencing your spouse, the way they think, dress, eat, how they spend their times, how they worship, where they go, where they don't go. Look at how it's influencing your parents, your guardians, your teachers, your pastors, your priests. Look at it. Do not underestimate social media. It is that powerful. Leave things here, wise ideas.